Becca talks about her wedding plans to Thomas, rumors fly about Nayte and Michelle, and how about those Bachelor in Paradise speculation rumors? Hey guys, and welcome back to another shared news. We've got the biggest Bachelor Nation headlines of the week to dive into, but before we get into all of the tea, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you are always up to date with all things Bachelor Nation. As always, I'm your host, Zachary Reality, joined with Gianna Gravelese and Blakely McHugh. I gotta ask how you guys are doing today and what you are most excited about to talk about on today's panel.
Ooh, well, thank you for asking. I'm thriving. It's Friday. It's a good day. I think I'm most excited to dive into the Bachelor in Paradise things because I just can't wait to watch Paradise. And it's been all over social media. We're going to cover it, but, not too much. We're not going to give too much away, unlike some other accounts. But we're going to dive in, and I'm so excited.
I love the call out, Gianna. I'm good. I'm feeling, honestly, like a little sleepy today. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been yawning a lot before we got on here. But I'm ready to go. Zach, we talked about Bachelor in Paradise a couple of days ago, so I'm going to switch it up. I'm excited to talk about Michelle and Nayte, only because I feel like I have some insider info, and when do I ever have insider info, so I'm ready for that.
Yeah, I definitely have that in the script. Blakely, it's like disclaimer, ask Blakely insider info twice. So we're going to get into it, but we got to start with the light stuff. Becca and Thomas, I mean, they got engaged a few weeks ago, so it's totally old news by now, but she isn't completely ruling out a TV wedding. So she says that she wants to keep it more intimate and personal between the two of them. She says that she went to Chris and Krystal's wedding in the past for Bachelor in Paradise, and she said that was a disaster. I don't know if you guys watched it. I think it was Bachelor in Paradise season 5 or 6, so a few years ago, and now Chris and Krystal are divorced. But Becca also continued on and said, I can never say no because every time I say no, definitely not, something ends up happening. So we'll see, but I don't think it's in the cards for us. What do you guys see for them? I mean, they're very involved in Bachelor Nation. They're kind of like one of the top 2 or 3 couples that The Bachelor really favors, with Joe and Serena and I guess Michelle and Nayte. So what do we think is going to happen with Becca and Thomas? How do we think their wedding planning is going to go? Do you think they'll do it on TV?
I really can't see them doing it on TV, to be completely honest with you. I mean, it's like Becca, I want to say, is more in the public eye in the franchise in terms of her social media presence and such. But Thomas is there as well. But we have to remember how Thomas first got his start way back on Katie's season. He was ridiculed by the guys because they said all he wanted was clout. All he wanted to be was the Bachelor, this, that, the other. So in my mind, I think Thomas would be more reluctant to have the TV wedding. And Becca even said, she wants to keep it more intimate and personal. So what I can see for them is maybe them hiring their own little camera crew, wedding photographer, videographer, to make their own little documentary maybe out of it. I mean, they have the money. They should totally do it. I just can't see them having literal producers from the franchise be there to televise the wedding when we all know that anything, even if it's a good day, will get manipulated. So I really just don't see them doing that at all.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think they have done everything pretty intimate and private so far. Obviously, their engagement and more unconventional with, of course, Becca proposing to Thomas. And they really have been vocal about wanting to keep things just with their friend group and their family and keep things small when they've talked anything engagement or wedding. So I imagine that will probably be the same here. I'm on the same wavelength though as you, Gianna, maybe them doing something on their own or getting doing a magazine deal or a spread in People or something like that where they have the professional photos and they've got, that camera crew there versus, again, a full live television wedding special.
Yeah, I mean, I think the People magazine route is something that a lot of celebrity and reality TV couples do because I don't know how much they make off of it, but it seems like People, it's a good exclusive. It's probably a good check. They make a 20 package wedding video for you so everyone can be involved in your big day, but they're not there for the intimate moments. It's not played out on a reality show, and then they get the exclusive pictures. We just saw JoJo and Jordan do it. Now, I liked what Snooki did for her wedding because she actually uploaded a YouTube video professionally done, which was 20 or 30 minutes. And I felt like that was so much more intimate and them versus the People, which is much more curated. So I would like for them to do that. But of course, Becca and Thomas are probably going to go with like the People magazine thing if they decide to do that. And they'll probably be engaged for, how long are we thinking, Blakely? Do we think they're going to have a long engagement or a short one? Because they've only been together a year.
I'm thinking it'll be like a year or so. I mean, you have to think it takes time to plan a wedding, especially in this day and age, because so many people who had canceled their weddings during COVID rescheduled. And then, of course, that, pushes everybody else back. So maybe it'll be a year or so, which I don't think is considered long. I also don't think it's considered short. It's maybe like average.
Yeah, average. I mean, JoJo and Jordan were engaged for 6 years. So it truly is up
I don't
to
think
them.
it'll be
But
that long.
Probably not. Let's move on to the Michelle and Nayte of it all. Now, rumors have been circulating that the two have broken up again. Now, rumors first circulated a few weeks ago, and I can't even remember why. But she didn't wear her engagement ring because she gave it to a friend to try on, and then she was spotted without it, and then they weren't liking each other's pictures. Well, now popular bloggers Dumoy and Not Skinny But Not Fat are actually saying that they heard the pair broke up. Gianna, what was your first thought about this? Because I know you are a huge Michelle fan. And then Blakely, after that, tell us the tea, because you just saw them on the carpet a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Well, first off, we have to remember that Michelle promised us several months ago, that with her newfound platform, she was going to use it for good. If she was going to do an ad, she wasn't going to advertise anything she didn't like. And she was always going to keep it 100 with us. And when the rumors first circulated, of her, she let her friend try on her ring, which I've done that to all my friends that are engaged. I'm like, give me a ring, let me put it on. And then I literally steal it from them for a solid 5 minutes. So this story was very believable, very realistic. And then Michelle even went on social media to explain it in detail and tell us that just simply was not true. They're still engaged. They're working toward a future together. So I just can't believe that they'd break up. I don't see Michelle lying about this unless they broke up yesterday or 2 days ago and they've both been silent about it, But I just don't think it's likely. But I could be wrong. Blakely saw them, so she got the scoop.
Yeah. I don't believe it at all. And obviously, people can be good actors and actresses in person. So just because I was there with them in person and heard what they have to say, obviously doesn't mean that it's totally, accurate, if you will. But Wango Tango, I saw them at the red carpet for Wango Tango. I interviewed them. I think that was a week and a half ago now. And basically what they're saying, this timing is a week ago. So the timing, for me, just doesn't add up from when I spoke to them on the carpet. And B, you think of people who are in love with each other and they're touching each other, a hand on the back, they're laughing, they're looking at each other a certain way, right? All of which Michelle and Nayte had. There was no vibe that there was any distance between them, lost love, anything like that. So that's the first thing that I got from that. And two, I asked them, what is their favorite part, that they've had since being together and really getting to spend this quality time together. And Nayte had the sweetest answer, saying he just loves how Michelle is with his family, that it's the most beautiful thing to watch. And it's so sweet, just really gushing about her. And then it was kind of funny because Michelle was like, well, my answer was a little less heartfelt, but she goes, he loves to clean and do the laundry and do the dishes, and it's so great and all this stuff. So I just felt like the way that they were speaking to one another and about each other just does not add up to them. Then a week later, half a week later, all of a sudden they're not together. And by the way, I joked with them because when I saw them, it was a couple days after the whole they broke up rumor spread on the internet. Exactly. And I said to Michelle, I go, did we remember the wedding ring? Are we making people talk this time? And she's like, I got the wedding ring. And she said something to the degree of people just hear one thing and they just run with it. And then all of a sudden I'm learning that I'm not together with my fiance on the internet. So because of that conversation, I just totally feel like this is baseless. She was talking about how when she does the dishes, she takes her ring off and then she'll leave it around. So many women do that. So I mean, you never know 100% because again, if they're not ready to share that they are separating or whatever, then they're not going to say that in that interview and they're going to try to make it seem like everything is normal. But I just think that they're together based off of that conversation.
I wish nothing but the best
Yeah, I mean, they were just together a couple weeks ago in California, and they were having fun celebrating Michelle's birthday. I mean, they do get paid to go to these. They get paid for appearances. They got paid by the show. They have a contract with the show. In some regards, they got gifted a lot of money from the show. A lot of people were skeptical that, why is the show giving them $200,000? I could think of last year when Katie, Thurston, and Blake broke up. It was really weird timing because they actually broke up the second week during Michelle's season. So it was almost like they had a contract to stay together for 3 months because, there were so many rumors that they broke up like a month before that, but they couldn't announce it publicly until they did that mutual statement. So I understand why people are skeptical and judging them because this is The Bachelor and we don't know what happens behind the scenes. Yeah. But if they are happy together and they're hanging out, it's like, who lies about that? Like, it's really not worth it. Gianna, go on.
Sorry. Question. So, and maybe I just wasn't following, but did Blake and Katie go on and do a bunch of interviews together and talk about how in love with each other they are, other than the after the final rose?
I don't think so.
I just don't remember seeing them in the press that often.
Yeah, it was such a short time. So, as far as we know, Michelle and Nayte are together. They haven't, addressed this second breakup rumor. Gianna, do you think they need to? Because the first time Michelle got on her Instagram and Nayte got on his TikTok and they addressed it. They were like, nope, we're together. And they kind of like mocked the fans. Do you think they're going to do that again? Because these breakup rumors could happen again in a few weeks. It did happen to Tayshia a few times before her and Zach broke up.
I think that they're just going to let it be at like proof is in the pudding. They're going to continue to post together. They're going to continue to make TikToks together. And like, that's the statement that they need to make. They don't even have to get on there and say for a second time, hey, we're still engaged. Like, this is my fiance. Like, that's just so unfair. Like, think about it. Like, we have the privilege of not being in the public eye. We can be with our significant others or whoever and like not have the limelight and headlines like go AWOL on anything that we do. So I just don't think it's fair to them. And I don't think that they should have to go out and make another statement. So I don't think it's going to happen. I think maybe, like you said, they'll post like a joking TikTok of them like, oh, like when you hear that you broke up with your fiance, but you didn't know, like type of thing, but I don't think they're going to do a talking head video.
Yeah, I think like with Bachelor fans or just celebrity couples, like people just want them to like remind us that they're together. And like I've been getting messages like, are Katie and John still together? They haven't posted together in a few days. Like people just want that constant checkup. And I guess they haven't posted together in a week. So people are just nervous. So, I'm sure that Nayte and Michelle are fine. She does the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast. So I'm sure she'll address it next week on the podcast. She wasn't there this week, and we're obviously rooting for them as a couple. And as far as we know, they're still together. So until we hear it from them, everything else is just hearsay. Let's move on to Matt James because he cannot stop pranking his girlfriend, Rachael Kirkconnell. Oh my God. Gianna, this story is bringing me back to when we talked about Matt and Rachael and there was like this whole French fry thing. Do you remember that? Where like he went to get food and she waited in the car and then she was pissed that he didn't get her fries?
Yes. And I am Rachael in all of these situations, by the way. Totally.
Yeah. So Matt and Rachael have been traveling throughout Greece and wherever else they've been going to beautiful destinations with Matt's mom and a few friends, sharing so many beautiful stories. But fans are noticing that Matt keeps messing with her. He pushed her in the pool. He has shot a Nerf gun at her. And Matt loves pranks if you watch them on social media. But when is it too far? Getting pushed in the pool, like, come on. Thank God she didn't have her phone on her. He's obviously a jokester. This is their relationship. Blakely, would you ever want to date a guy that's constantly pulling pranks on you? Or could that possibly get annoying?
Oh, it definitely could possibly get annoying. I don't want to be pushed in the pool, but you also know what you're getting into. I feel like, she has to like it to a degree because she's dating him and she loves him and they're together and she's always playing into the pranks as well. But there's always a line with everything. If someone's pushing me in the pool, if I had my hair done and my makeup undone or something like that, it would be like, we would be having a bad night ruined.
We would be on Real Housewives.
It's also, exactly. Margaret Joseph's pushing me in the pool.
Yeah. I think it's just their relationship. I think that's the dynamic they have. And I think that if Rachael like had a problem, like she wouldn't have fell in love with him. Like I think she loves that he's a jokester and a prankster. Gianna, what's your take on this? And do you think they're gonna get engaged soon? Because a lot of people are waiting. His book is out. It's done. It's been over a year now. Like they're on a luxurious vacation. What do you think is next for them?
I mean, first off, I just want to say I love them as a couple. But second of all, I would say, like, if that were me and my boyfriend, like, I would actually kill him. Like, when my boyfriend even tickles me, like, I literally threaten his life. I'm not even joking. I get so mad, I walk out the door. But to each their own. Clearly, she's tolerating it. They like doing it together. That was my first thought when I saw them in Greece. They're going to beautiful, beautiful spots. I was like, is he about to get down on one knee like right now? Like what is happening? But I'm not sure. But it has to be soon. Like you said, he's finally done with the book. He ran the marathon. He has so much going on, but it's all finally came to a halt. So I'm like, maybe he's ring shopping and then it's going to happen soon. Like, who knows? But it has to happen soon. Like, I just love them together. And then this also makes me think, like, kind of off topic, do people in the franchise have to like let each other know, like, hey, I'm going to propose on this day. Hey, my wedding's on this day, actually. Like, so they're not overlapping in the headlines. Like, it's so interesting to me how they time these things out because it's such a big franchise. And I feel like we're talking about somebody or one couple every single day. And I'm just like, they have to plan it ahead of time and like coordinate with one another. I mean, is that true? I don't know.
That's a good point. No, that's a good point. But I think what it is I think that a lot of couples get engaged or whatever and have announcements. And then instead of announcing it on their Instagrams, they go to People Magazine or Us Weekly or wherever else they can make a buck off of selling their good news. And then that is usually scheduled and timed out. So I think that's kind of how it works behind the scenes. And I think that there's people who want to capitalize off of their fame, which I'm totally here for. Like, if that's how you make your money, do it. And then there's other people who just want to like share their stories on their own pages and not worry about, you know, the publicity of it all. But like being a celebrity is work. Like there's two different types of celebrities. There's the celebrities that are like actively like, you know, doing all these PR things and posting at certain times. And there's the celebrities that are just like living in the moment and people just love and care about them. And I would put Matt and Rachael in that box where people just love them and care about them and they do their thing and they're always eating food and traveling and they're not really worried about the whole like PR of it all. So, but that's a good point to bring up, Gianna. I love them. Do you love them, Blakely?
I mean, I feel like the first time we ever talked about them, I told you guys that I wasn't the biggest fan of the two of them, and then I thought that Rachael could do better. But I'm slowly getting on the Matt and Rachael train. They've been coming onto my For You page a lot more, so I feel like I'm seeing a little bit more of their like dynamic in their relationship, but I just had such a sour taste left in my mouth from after the final rose and everything that happened between them after the Bachelor. So I was like totally not a stan of them together, but I am slowly warming up to them and liking them more and more. And I honestly don't think that they'll get engaged anytime soon. I feel like they're kind of just like having fun. And there's no pressure. I see them like taking a little while and just being together, and maybe it'll come like in a couple of years is my thought.
Yeah, that's a fair point too. And I think like we see like people on TV and like it's not always accurate. And then if you watch them on social media, you can get to know them. But in Blakely's point, it's like if you don't like someone on TV, like why are you going to go to their social media? So it's like, how do you give them a chance, you know? And that's why TikTok is great because you don't even get to choose. Like it just shows up on the FYP. It depends how much time you spend on your following versus your explore page. But it really is to each your own. Let's move on to Zach and Tayshia. We have not talked about them in a while, but exes, Zach Clark is defending Tayshia Adams. Now, this is kind of crazy because I have not heard him say a word about the breakup, about the relationship since they broke up in, I believe it was December of last year. So basically what happened is that Tayshia posted some pictures in a bikini on the beach and a fan clapped at her and basically body shamed her and kind of came for her career and said that Zach cheated on her. It was very much a troll, very much untrue. We know that that troll does not know what they're talking about. And the troll actually tagged Zach because the troll was like, no wonder Zach cheated on you. And then Zach replied, and Zach literally said, this is the first hater I've ever replied to. Like, this is my first clap back. Like, you got me. You have no idea what you're talking about. So he's like denying those rumors. And then at the end of the reply, he actually was like, keep thriving, Tayshia. I hope you're doing well. This was the hardest breakup in Bachelor Nation. And like, I know that this doesn't mean they're getting back together, but a girl can dream. Guys, I need to hear your thoughts on this. Gianna, you go first.
I don't think this comment means that they're getting back together at all. I just think this shows growth and maturity. And I love to see that this means that they're also civil together because, you know, he didn't say anything. She didn't really say anything. And we were all thinking like something bad happened, right? We were like, what could have possibly happened? They seemed so happy. Yeah, exactly. It's like we were all so concerned. And then to hear him say, you know, keep thriving, keep doing your thing. That's amazing to me. Like, I love when couples separate, but like they're still on each other's teams. Like that's the way to be. I hate bad blood, even in my own life. I don't like when other people have bad blood with each other. Sure, it makes for good drama every once in a while, which we all love. But with Tayshia, I love her. And I only wish the best for her. And she really is thriving. She just had her very first hosting gig ever for the MTV Awards. And she probably has so much more to come. And also the fact that he came to her defense, like especially when it came to the body shaming thing too, because that like we know Tayshia has so many trolls, but the fact that this was the one thing he jumped on is like, it shows that he still does deeply care about her as well. So it's like, it's all good things all around. Again, does this mean they're getting back together just because he commented this? No, but we all wish. Sure? But I'm not sure. I don't know anything in this life. I don't even know what I'm about to eat for lunch, but you know, we never know. We could see what happens, but all we know is that they are on good terms.
Zach, I think you're the only one on the train thinking that this comment might mean that they're getting back together because I don't think it means that at all. And honestly, like I kind of laughed when I saw his response only because he was like, this is going to be my first and last clapback or whatever. He called it a clapback. And to me, like Zach Clark is just kind of like such an old man in my mind. Like he doesn't really know like a clapback is when you like really like come back at somebody. Like he just responded. It didn't quite feel like a clap back to me. And so like sort of made me laugh that he was calling it. And by the way, Gianna, I don't know if we can see, but when you were going, I was scrolling through her Instagram and this woman is like, oh, I don't know what's happening. This woman is saying that she's posting all these bikini pics and like revealing pictures. But literally, if you scroll through her feed, there is no pictures of her in like a bikini or revealing or anything. So first off, I was like, this woman doesn't even know what she's talking about. Second of all, wasn't a clapback, Zach, but appreciate the effort. Third, I did think it was really sweet that he came to her defense. And I actually, because again, like you said, Zach and Gianna, we don't really know how things ended for them. We really got no like clarity on what exactly happened and what terms they were on. So I do think it was really beautiful to see him step up in that way. Not that she needed it, but that he just did that to support her. And I agree, Gianna, like I really think it's beautiful when couples separate, but they can still be on each other's side like that. And so I really loved seeing that.
Yeah, they're not getting back together. I'm just trying to like be living in my fairy tale dreams. But like I like what you're saying, Blakely. Like I think it was important that Zach actually did that because he never said anything about the breakup. And when you don't say anything, it kind of leads people to think the worst. So the fact that he was like, keep thriving, Tayshia, like it's just letting everyone know that like, yes, they're not together anymore, but like it doesn't mean that they don't respect each other anymore. It doesn't mean that there's love lost. Like, even when you're not friends with someone anymore, like, you still, like, wish them the best. Like, it's not like you're talking crap about them. Like, sometimes people just aren't meant to be in each other's life. And that's it. So I like that Zach did this. And I think Tayshia is amazing. Like, she looks so good. So keep posting the bikini pics, Tayshia, because I'm the gayest one here. But, I mean, she could turn me. Let's talk about Bachelor in Paradise. Now, we're not going to get into spoilers. We don't want to do that. But we are going to get to some speculation and some teases. And I want to first start off with something light because Hannah G and Dylan were spotted in the airport in Mexico yesterday. And I received some pictures, and like I think a lot of fans are hoping that they're going to hand a date card out. You know, there was also, you know, speculation that Ashley and Jared were in Mexico and they're going to hand a date card out. Now, Blakely, you were also just with Hannah G and Dylan on the carpet a few weeks ago. So do you think they could be doing a double whammy and going to Paradise to hand out a date card or be involved in some way? Or what do you think is going on?
So I asked this specific question. I asked them if they were going to be involved in Bachelor in Paradise at all. And I was like, as a host or, coming in and doing a date card. And they said, well, at first they said no. They said, but we are going to be in Mexico because we're going to Puerto Vallarta for a vacation, which if you look at Hannah G's Instagram stories right now, you'll see she's posting there at the Punta de Mita, I think, wherever the Real House of the Beverly Hills stayed for their Mexico trip that we just saw air. And so they're totally on a vacation. It's Dylan's birthday, so they're there for his birthday. So you'll see that those two things are adding up. But then, of course, because everybody always has to do this, they're like, well, you never know. So I don't think that they're going to be appearing on Bachelor in Paradise because of their initial response to my question. But then, of course, you have to tease things and leave things open-ended. So maybe there's a potential. But my gut instinct says no. I'm really going to hate, though, if they show up and then we roll back this clip of my gut instinct saying no.
I mean, they're in Mexico for his birthday, but they could easily just go to Paradise for an hour, hand out a date card, and go home, and then get the trip paid for. So, I mean, I think they might as well if they're there, and maybe they can be reached out last minute, be like, "Oh, you're in Mexico, we need you. Jesse Palmer is sick this day." You never know. So there has been rumors about Paradise. What were you gonna say?
I was just going to say, I think that's why they leave it open-ended, because what if they are there and someone reaches out to them and is like, we'll give you $5,000. I mean, I'm not saying no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So there has been some rumors about Paradise. I'm going to be very vague here. There may or may not be a love triangle between Shanae, Genevieve, and Aaron. Something crazy may have happened with Sally, the girl who went to Clayton's season and left before night one because she had a husband. So something similar could have happened in Paradise with her. And there also, a lot of people are shipping Brandon and Serene. And I mean, we know Rodney's on the beach, and we'll just leave it at that. Gianna, what are your thoughts? Who do you want to see there? What triangles? What are you thinking about Paradise? Because they're filming right now in Mexico.
Oh my God. Well, I need to see Teddy there. I just loved Teddy so much. She was my spirit animal on Clayton's season. Really need to see her there. If Mara is there, I'm thinking just Clayton season because it's the freshest one in my head. That is going to be they're going to be drowning each other in the ocean, her and Shanae and everybody else there. Who else do I want to see? I heard that a very special man that we all love as our dad from Katie's season is also potentially there. That's all I'll say about that. And I'm really excited about that. I'm so excited about that for him. I
thought you were talking about Greg for a second, because dad, daddy. But I was like, Greg didn't go.
No, I'm sorry. Greg can be my daddy, but I'm so disappointed that he is not on the beach. But I'm also happy because I'm maybe it's better chances. But also, Greg is still with the girlfriend. I'm pretty positive. So, yeah.
Yeah. They were hanging out in New Jersey a few weeks ago and posting at the same places, with the same tiles. It's kind of very Blake and Giannina of them to post in the same kitchen at the same time. But I think they're a little bit more discreet about it. Blake and Giannina were not discreet about it at all. So I guess that girl that Greg was talking to prevented him from going to Paradise. If not, I think a lot of us would have loved to see him there. Blakely, I know you don't want to know too many spoilers. You're not really following it too closely, but what do you want to see or are kind of excited about?
So, Gianna, I think, did you post that Michael was going on Bachelor, or you saw something? Oh, okay. I'm wondering where I heard that too then.
I posted it.
Because I heard that as well.
Yeah, it was probably on Zachary Reality's very own social media somewhere.
I definitely posted it.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, we'll probably saw it from you, Zachary, because you know everything. Yeah. Who doesn't love him? So I'm excited to see him again, although I just feel like he's not a Bachelor in Paradise guy. It just feels too almost young for me. He's a dad, he's mature, he's responsible. He doesn't need to be going on different dates with different women or being fought over or fighting over somebody. I kind of feel like he needs to be the Bachelor and just have 30 women going after him because he's just so amazing and incredible and beautiful that he needs to just have all the women coming to him. I feel like a Bachelor in Paradise is maybe like a little bit too like young for him, but who knows? Could be wrong. He could thrive. Becca went on and we saw that worked out for her. Not that she's old, but you know what I mean. And I'm interested. I didn't hear about this love triangle, Zach. So I'm interested in this love triangle and to see how that's going to play out.
Well, it started
Serena
on
and Brandon
the
give
Women
me
Tell
Joe.
All.
Yes, you're right. Well, with Genevieve and Aaron.
Genevieve and
But not
Shanae
with
were
Shanae.
like, no, Genevieve and Shanae were like, coming at each other. And then Shanae was like, well, I heard you slept with Aaron.
Yes.
And then like the next week, they had Aaron and Genevieve like in the audience together. So, I mean, of course, that whatever started is going to play out. And that is what I'm most excited about. But what were you going to say about Brandon and Serene?
I was saying they kind of give me Joe and Serena vibes. Like just cute and wholesome and sweet and perfect together.
Yeah, they're super cute. I want to see them get engaged too during this. And I mean, they're going to film the next couple of weeks. I'm sure a lot will get leaked online. A lot will be up for grabs. A lot will end up on the editing room floor. So we don't know how it's going to show up. But Gianna, are you more excited for The Bachelorettes, which premieres July 11th, or Paradise, which we actually got a date for? It's coming back September 27th.
God, that's the hardest question I've been asked in a really long time, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because I love Paradise. I love it, love it, love it. And it usually sets the tone for my summer. So now I'm feeling like a little lost puppy right now. And you know what? Although I do love Paradise, that would be my normal answer. I think I'm just most excited for our bachelorettes, plural, because this is going to be a first. And I love Gabby and Rachael. I'm already like creeping on their men. Like, and I just, every time I see a teaser, I get more and more and more excited. Like I've been saying this since the beginning. I just need to know the logistics. Like once we figure it out, once we know exactly how the two women are going to work and having all these men chasing after them, like I'll be happy. So I am most looking forward to The Bachelorette, of course. But then it's like, we got Paradise right after. It's going to be like a few years ago when we were so tired. We were all so tired. It was just one thing after the next, after the next. Like, why do I have a feeling that we're just going to be in that pattern again? Because believe it, like, whether we know it or not, like right after Paradise, we're going to have a Bachelor probably. And it's just going to be happening. So it's going to be craziness, but I'm buckled. I'm ready.
Yeah, Blakely, what are you most excited about?
Yeah, I'm same with Gianna. I'm most excited about The Bachelorettes, A, because it's coming first. So it's like my excitement is, it's going to be fulfilled quicker. B, I love Gabby and Rachael. I love their friendship. I love what they stand for. I love how Gabby just told Clayton off at the end of the episode. I love how she spoke after the final rose. I just love them. So I'm really excited to see them. But I'm still really excited for Bachelor in Paradise. So obviously, right when that ends, I'm going to be ready to go with Bachelor in Paradise.
I want I want both of it, but like, give me Paradise right now. Like, if I could just like get flown to Mexico and just like be on the beach, like I literally would. I would just watch it all day and tan. Like,
just
put me in Mexico. I'm about to book a flight and just go to this resort that everyone keeps getting spotted at.
Do it.
That is all we have for today. These are our biggest Bachelor Nation headlines of the week. So make sure you guys comment down below your thoughts on everything. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you're always up to date with all things Bachelor Nation news. As always, I'm your host, Zachary Reality, with Gianna Gravelese and Blakely McHugh. Our social media handles are on the screen right now, so be sure to give us a follow. Come say hello to us all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.